Hello and welcome to episode 2 on my channel Paddle.LDN, the road to GB Top 100. Will I be able to hit enough point winning shots, get unlucky, or just make too many unforced errors? Will the frustration set in? I guess you just have to see. What I can tell you for now is that the heavy breathing was real. Yeah, so it's 11 past 11 on the 1st of November 2025. I've got my grade 5 tournament tomorrow, which I need to get ready for. The first thing I need to do is re-grip these, and today I'm going to be trying out the Everything Paddle grips, which I'm going to be trying for the first time. So I ended up re-gripping both my rackets as I wasn't sure which one I was going to use yet. Tournament day, so you can see typically what I pack when I'm getting ready for a tournament like this. So you've got my trainers, my arm sleeve, some caps, a towel, and of course my recording equipment. All set and ready to go. Time to get this lot into the car. And then it was just a matter of waiting for my partner to arrive and then heading off. This was a long drive. It takes an hour and a half from East London all the way to Chiswick. But we got there eventually, and as you can see it was already starting to get dark. It was around 4:30 at this time. And I will say about this place, they've got plenty of courts for people to play on. It is a long walk, but after about 2 or 3 minutes you will arrive at the indoor courts. And as you can see, there were a lot of people waiting around already for the start of the tournament. Luckily we were able to get onto the court a few minutes before our first game, gave us a chance to have a little warm up. At this point I was feeling confident, and that all the preparation I had done beforehand would serve me well. But when you go to one of these tournaments, for me at least, there's always this nervousness and this feeling of being unsettled slightly, not knowing what might be coming. But all you can do, and my advice to anyone who wants to try and get into these tournaments, is go for it. Try your best, and whatever the outcome, you're going to learn something. With the arrival of the opponents, we were ready to start the game. As per usual, a bit of pre-game conferring, going through some tactics and hopefully what we're trying to achieve. Let's get into it. Another relatively fast start to a tournament. You can see that the opponents had pretty good hands straight away. Fast Mandeka to push them back. The opponent plays a good shot down the middle, using the space. I play a good Chiquita back, but this guy just drops the ball over and I can't reach it. We did the whole switching sides on every odd game, so yeah, we're on the other side now, on my partner's serve. I was able to play 2 nice overheads here, one slightly slower just to maintain the net, and then a slightly faster one which I think caught him off guard a little bit. By now we had settled into the game and we were feeling a bit more confident. A nice pair of backhands from me to win us the point, although the second one did hit the net on the way down. But in these fast 4 format games, you'll take any point you can get. Maintaining the net well with some volleys and overheads, ultimately leading to the opponent forcing an error. Okay, first serve for the opponent in black. This was another good rally, and you can see that the intensity of the game was starting to increase. And after my overhead I almost got caught out on my side, but it did just touch the fence on the way down. Opponent gets unlucky after a lob and sends it into the net. And then I do the same thing on my return of serve. And I feel like this was the point at which those unforced errors were starting to creep in a little bit more, although the game was quite balanced at this point. Quite an easy return on the serve. left it open for the opponent, and then my partner gets unlucky with the block. Switch sides again and ready for my serve. So I served it close to the tee here, and then I think the opponent was trying to catch me out down my line, but he ended up hitting the fence. I let this one go past me, thinking it was going to the fence, but really a great shot from the opponent. I think at this point the tactic that the opponents were trying to use was playing it to my corner on my backhand side. But they ended up hitting the glass on that play and then the net on the next one. Last serve, getting it right on the line and forcing the error. Things were pretty tied up at this point, but you start to see a shift in the opponent's aggression as the game progresses. Tried to read the ball after the smash on this play, but I was out of position. Easy backhand return, which I just bowled into the net. And these were the first few signs for me during the game that maybe my performance wasn't up to scratch. I don't think I realised fully at the time that I wasn't operating at 100%, having had some mild cold symptoms leading up to this tournament, but not really paying any attention to it. And this kind of thing at the end of this rally happened to us about 5 times in this game. Anyway, on we went, and the game continued to increase in pace, and you'll see from my partner a nice bahada to end the point, forcing the opponent to make a tough block. Another brilliant play by my partner, consecutive volleys and forcing another error. Not great lobs from me here. I'm lucky they didn't attack it more. Played a fast Mandeka to the middle, but because the rebound came up high, it allowed for an easy ball for the opponent. And with that, we're at the end of the first game, which we lost both sets in, unfortunately. In hindsight, I wasn't feeling 100% fit internally, and that showed in the game with the high unforced errors and not being able to keep up with the pace. Alright, moving on to game 2. This was us playing for serve, and I was hoping things would improve, but this will give you an indication. Alright, these guys were aggressive straight off the bat, and I was struggling to get into gear. My partner placed a nice lob, making the return difficult for the opponent. We were still trying to be aggressive, a few overheads and volleys here, and my partner with a series of volleys and ending up with a smash type shot to finish. And I think my partner knew by this point that I was struggling a little bit, and hence he increased his tempo and his aggression. My serve, and the opponent tries to hit it into the corner but hits it long. Good back and forth rally from us and our opponents here. I read the ball well here in the corner and spun around, but my return was weak and it just set up the opponent. My partner served here, and bless him, he was really trying hard to keep us in the game. And then you got me ripping it overhead straight into the cage. A nice collection of shots off of my serve, which ended in me forcing my opponent to make a mistake. Got an ace on the serve here. Delayed reactions from me. I thought the ball was going to be out. And then I got pulled into middle in that shot, and the opponent taking advantage of the space on the left. But harder from me, and I did a nice job of recovering the ball here. This was an intense rally, proper back and forth, and I was doing a lot of work. Using the glass for offense and defense here. I don't think I know what shot I wanted to play at the end here. I think I just wanted the rally to finish. Hit it hard and it paid off. Yeah, after that rally I was fully out of breath, literally steaming from my mouth. Alright, and that takes us pretty much to the end of game 2. I didn't include all the clips from this game as I didn't want the video to be too long. Long story short, the final score was 4-1, 4-2 to our opponents Toby and Paul. With such fine margins and every point counting in a competition like this, every mistake feels 10 times worse. By the end of this tournament, I realised that my performance was just not as good as I wanted it to be. And a lot of it was to do with my energy levels. I felt like I was getting gassed out too early, and it was because I was recovering from being ill. The other part of it, and in conversation with my partner, I realised that I need to diversify my normal games that I play on a weekly basis, play with different people at different paces, and try and get more varied experiences. And here's my post-game reaction. The best performance ever. Finished a bit early. Lost first game, lost second game. Going home at 7 PM, not ideal. But we learn and we move. Let's keep it going.